Hey, City Center Baptist Church family, it's Pastor Brad coming to you from DDQ headquarters. Digging Deeper question number 3 this week asks, what evidence can you provide indicating that in Jesus the whole fullness of deity dwells bodily, and why does this matter? During Jesus' earthly ministry, a controversy arose. He appeared as any other first century AD Jewish man. His parents were known, his siblings were nearby, and his hometown and occupation were all common knowledge. He lived a regular life for his first 30 years in a quiet, small, insignificant backwater, far from the hustle and bustle of the capital city of Jerusalem, and far from the political and cultural superpower of Rome. There was nothing extraordinary about him. And yet, after a few short years, after his time on earth, people were worshiping him, calling themselves Christians after him, and willingly laying down their lives for him. What happened? In Colossians 2:9, the Apostle Paul wrote something about Jesus that was either utterly blasphemous or utterly amazing. He wrote that in Jesus, the whole fullness of deity dwells bodily. This was either the craziest comment ever or the greatest news ever. Paul was claiming that in the man, Jesus, all of God lived in the flesh. God had entered into human existence and was walking alongside fallen humanity. God had come near. Jesus was Emmanuel, God with us. God had not remained aloof and afar, but had drawn near. And if true, what fabulous news to celebrate. What led to this realization on Paul's part as well as the early Christian community? It was a culmination of many things, including Jesus' matchless life, his teachings, his miracles, and ultimately his passion involving his death and resurrection. For example, in Mark 4:35-41, Jesus and the disciples were crossing the Sea of Galilee in the evening. He went to sleep, but a storm arose. The disciples became terrified and awoke him. It must have been a serious storm for experienced fishermen to panic. Jesus rebuked the wind and the waves, and a calm immediately ensued. The disciples' response was awe. Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? In Luke 5:17-26, Jesus told a paralyzed man brought to him that his sins were forgiven. Jesus then laid down a challenge to the religious skeptics in the crowd who knew that only God could forgive sins. He said that he would heal the paralyzed man outwardly to show his authority to heal the man inwardly or spiritually. When he did so, the only conclusion was that Jesus was God. And the ultimate indicator of Jesus' identity is summarized in Romans 1:3-4. Descended in the flesh from King David, he was declared to be the Son of God through his resurrection. Rising from the dead was the final and greatest proof of who Jesus was. Thus, our faith is founded on the solid foundation of who Jesus is and everything he has done for us, including conquering death on our behalf. What joy! What hope! What an amazing God! This has been Pastor Brad coming to you from DDQ headquarters.